Chevy Volt powerwall update video. Haven't done one of these in a very long time. What we've got here, it's a total of 56 kilowatt hours of Chevy Volt batteries. And then these packs up here are 4 kilowatt hour chunks at 48 volts. This is the newer design. Instead of making them like that are hugely heavy and hard, but it happened to fit where the door is. Well, I've learned, build a building outside and then put all your gear in it. Don't do it like this. The only reason I did them like this with this huge bus bar that runs all the way through, that's for more of electric car application or electric dragster application. Those two packs there, if you put them in series at 24 volts, could easily get like 4,000 to 5,000 amps out of them. Those are in parallel. But that's all that, back in the day I did that, there was only like one guy on YouTube, and he was building an electric dragster, so that's why I built them that way. I've learned now that the smaller packs are much easier to move around. So that's the direction we're going now. What we've got here is a 6 kilowatt hour, 240 volt split phase inverter charging the Chevy Volt car. This big bad boy here is a 12,000 watt split phase 240 that runs everything else on the property. Welders, well pumps, grinders, everything. We can see here that this is charging the Chevy Volt car today, just like normal every day. And you see 63% of the 6,000 watt inverters being used at 242 volts, 47.2 volts of DC in the batteries today. And this one's probably just idling along, doing almost nothing. You know, 5% of the inverter, because nothing big running at the moment. This is the DC side. Yes, it's a disaster. This is all moving into a different building one day. You can see what the voltage of the current voltage of the batteries is right now. That this thinks it is. We can see over here that the car pulling 8, let's try to get the glare out of there, 80 amps. It's probably running heating to the battery right now. Normally it's around 77, so it's putting 3 kilowatts to heat the batteries up. It is kind of cool outside today. And then this one's probably doing almost nothing. 56 amps, that's running the hot water heater element. Let's see, I can show you that when I turn that off. Oop. Yeah, that was the hot water heater element. When I have extra juice, then I just dump it into hot water. And there's the hot water heating element back on. I can make 90 gallons of boiling water on a good day. We also have 3,000 watts of solar panels in a well, they're not in a string, they're with micro inverters. And that's 4.57 amps of 240 volts AC. So this is an AC coupled system. Those panels can put out 8 amps of 240 on a good day when there's sun. Not today. So what happens is when we're not drawing much here, we're not drawing anything there, the AC comes in here off the panels through the in-phase microinverters, goes backwards through these wires, back into the inverter here, and will charge the batteries through putting the AC into this loads panel through this inverter. That, the AC coupled, there are a few things out there now that say they can do this, but this was the very first thing that I'd ever seen this inverter do. EVTV Jack Rickard. I think he beat me to actually putting a real load against it. I did it with one panel and one microinverters. You could see that the voltage changed direction, but he was the first one to put any real horsepower to it. So you can see that going on. That's a 12 kilowatt. That's a 6. You get 18,000 plus the 3,000 from the microinverters. And we come out here, we can actually see most of the panels, 12,000 watts. And there's some laying on the roof. That's really bad for them. Don't do that. I'm just lazy. And we can come over here and see the Chevy Volt car charging away. This saves me at least $200 a month. Let's see, is it gonna light up for me? No, it's just pissed off there's no remote, but there's a little green dot up there. The car is charging. So that's these panels were used panels. They were in the way of California's bullet train. They were smashing them up and putting them in the dumpster, so I got them extremely cheap. But it runs everything. 3-ton AC, 1.5 horsepower well pump. It will fire this 5 horsepower commercial air compressor, no problems. There's the MIG welder over there. This is really hard to start. That's 7.5 horsepower. That's a toughie. That'll blow up most inverters. Anyway, that's what a Chevy Volt Powerwall looks like.